Hey, what's going on, everybody? Brandon Watson back for another video. This video is going to be about my first drill weekend I just had this past weekend. As you can see, I got my shave on. Well, now it's kind of all coming back. Apparently my hair goes back really fast. I haven't shaved my face for a long time, so I didn't really remember that. But yeah, so I had drill on Saturday and Sunday. Got some face. The way it worked for me, because it's the base that I'm at is or that I'm going to drill at is only like 40 minutes or so away from my house. I go to drill that morning. I'm there, and then when it's over that afternoon, I actually come home and I just stay at my house. Then I have to go back for Sunday morning or Sunday, and then done, leave there, and go home. So I had to be there a little before 7:30. They said to come a little earlier since it's my first one. So I did that. I got there on time. Well, I got to the base on time. I didn't actually get to my my meeting room, I guess, on time, because I was told to go to building 82, and I went to building 82, went to go in the door, and they were doing drug testing in building 82, so they told me that the Right Start program had got moved to another room, or another building. So I was going around. It took me like 10 minutes, probably almost 10 minutes to find the first building that I was going to, and then I had to go around looking for the second building, which I also couldn't find. I stopped to ask somebody for some directions on how to get there, and they gave me something. I didn't really know what they're talking about. But then I saw a group of people with like jumpsuits or whatever, so I was like, hey. Asked them, you guys going to, it was at Clancy, it was the building I was going to. You guys heading to Clancy? And yeah. So I just followed them to the building, and we get there, and there was nobody else there. So apparently we weren't meeting there either. So the one person, or they had the number for some kind of sergeant, whoever was the head of the Right Start program, to kind of find out, or to try and find out where we were supposed to be meeting at. So they told us we were meeting in the gym, the new gym. So then we went from Clancy, from building 82 to Clancy to the gym. Get into the gym, and everyone else is there already chilling, and the four of us just walk in. It's like, yeah, that's cool. So basically all the seats were taken. Well, no, they weren't all taken, because we were looking around trying to find a seat, and everyone else got a seat except for me. Well, actually I wasn't the only one. There were like 3 of us new ones, but me being the new person at drill, and then I'm standing around in the back, like on the side, like, what am I supposed to do now? So I'm like, I'm probably not supposed to stand here, but just stood there and waited for him. The person in charge started giving directions or whatever, and had to wait until he was done, and asked him if I could get another chair from somewhere, if there's some chairs around or whatever. So he got a couple people to go get some chairs, and I got a seat, not at the tables, because there's no more space at the tables. I got to sit at the end, next to a table, which was fun. I was trying to write stuff down. But anyway, so he went and did that, and yeah, so I got there. No one, just a heads up for you guys, apparently they stopped issuing the uniform PT for the Right Start program, but everyone else except for 3 of us were in like the whole swishy pants suit uniform deal. but I guess they stopped that in November was the last month they stopped giving those out, but everyone's got to give them back anyway. So I was one of the few people not in a uniform, so I stuck out with that. And then also, no one told me what I was supposed to wear to it, except the person called me from the guard, and they're like, yeah, just wear some sweat clothes and bring your right start packet, and yeah, that's pretty much all you need to bring, your ID or whatever. So I'm like, alright. So I show up in, running basketball shoes. I got on some black sweatpants, and I had a red hoodie. And I got there, and I was like, I stuck out like a sore thumb. Apparently, red is not a color worn around the Air Force base. It's black. Well, actually, you're not even supposed to wear black. You're supposed to wear a gray top, gray sweater. I don't think anyone else even had a hoodie on the entire base. But yeah, so that was a little annoying, a little embarrassing that I wasn't informed as to what I should actually wear to my drill weekend, and also not informed that I was supposed to shave before going to drill. I was kind of thinking, I don't gotta shave my stuff off until I leave for basic. Just want to do that before basic training so they don't shave me and cut my hair and stuff themselves. I want to do it myself. But I got there, and of course everyone was clean shaven as we're supposed to be, and our right start leader made sure to point that out in one of our briefings later to remind everyone, i.e. me, that since we are members of the military at this point, since we've sworn enlisted, that we need to be clean shaven, meaning no facial hair, guys, no piercings, no bracelets. I wear bracelets on my arm here that I haven't ever taken off. I wore them when I joined my wedding and everything. So, yeah, so can't wear those, and yeah, your hair's got to be certain length. If you'd read your right start packet, which I recommend doing because I did not, at least the first couple pages, it explains some of this stuff as far as what you are supposed to wear, as far as what your appearance is supposed to be like, as far as what time you're supposed to be there, what things you may need. Bring a water bottle, which I also did not bring because I was just not thinking, or something that you can put water in and refill it. Yeah, so anyway, so get there. I'm embarrassed, but can't really do anything about it at this point. Also, if it's cold, like it was for ours, gloves, you're allowed to wear gloves and a hat, but the gloves have to be black, the hat's got to be either black or sage green, whatever you interpret that as, I guess. Oh, my face looks really light in this light, I guess. But yeah, so get there, do that, finally get to sit down, and then the first thing that we really do is like a roll call. So they call everyone's name, and when they call your name, you have to stand up at attention and give your reporting statement. You say, sir or ma'am, whoever it is you're addressing, trainee, whatever your last name is, reports as ordered. And yeah, so I say, sir, trainee Watson reports as ordered. And you might ask your question. He asked us if we're going to be staying, if we're there all day, or if you had something else, if you had to leave early for some reason. Most people were there all day, so you answer yes. And then he'll go on to the next one, and you're allowed to sit back down. So he does that, goes through roll call, and then we did announcements, appointments. I had an appointment to go do fingerprinting at like 3 o'clock on Saturday, so They give you a heads up for that, depending on when your appointment is. I had an appointment on Sunday, to do my security clearance stuff. I had to go sign some paperwork and whatnot. So that was at 12. Yeah, we're supposed to leave around 12. So I had an early lunch on Sunday. Our normal lunchtime is around 11:45. So I just went to lunch at 11, and yeah. So we did announcements, and then this past weekend it's like a special weekend, so it was kind of an abnormal drill. It was, hopefully the rest of them aren't as seemingly chaotic and unorganized as this one was, but I'm going to just attribute it to the blood drive. Kind of threw everybody for a loop and had things out of whack. So we had the Central Pennsylvania blood donors, whatever, come, and we could give blood. He said one of the announcements was that about the giving blood, and anyone that gave blood or attempted to give blood didn't have to PT that day, so we all had to go over to the other building and together anyway, but once you got there you could decide whether or not you wanted to give blood, and if you gave blood or tried, then you didn't have to PT, which he kind of suckered us, which I will tell you later. So we went over there, and everywhere we went we had to march. So we had to go outside. It's freezing outside. Get in formation. Well, basically got in like lines, 4 lines, and it was kind of cool. Once we got in line, you did it's called taller tap, where you get in line and they call you to attention, and then tell you trainees, the person in front of you, if you're taller than the person in front of you, tap them on the shoulder, right shoulder, and you're supposed to switch, and then keep doing that until you have the tallest. You're lined up from the tallest to shortest in the back, and then you have to do right face. Everyone turns to the right. Then you do the same thing. If you're taller than the person in front of you, then you tap them. So it's kind of cool. We end up being lined up shortest to tallest, or tallest to shortest, sorry, and from right to left also. And then we start marching. They give us do all the commands and everything. So that was kind of cool. It was kind of tricky for me, getting the turns down. When you do like a right turn as a group, staying in that line. It was fun though, just really cold. So went over to the place to do the blood drive, and while we were waiting in line to give blood, it's basically just like quizzing us on the stuff in the Right Start packet, Right Start book. He actually called my name once. So he was just like randomly calling people off the list. Some people that he remembered their names, he would just call them randomly, but he had like his roll call sheet and just look through it and say, whatever your last name, Watson. He asked a question and then calling somebody to answer it. And apparently, one of the announcements that he made was about how they used to get like saves, I guess. If someone didn't know the answer, someone else could save them, and they would give like 4 chances or something like that for somebody to step up and say the right answer. But said they were going to stop that in 2015, since new year, new rules, whatever. But it seemed as if he kept the same rule throughout the day, because somebody got a question wrong and asked somebody else. He did mark it down a couple times, I guess, for us to owe push-ups, but unless they did the push-ups sometime when I wasn't there, I never really saw them get cashed in. So I don't know, might be one of those just talks, but maybe not. Maybe because of the blood drive that he didn't have us do the push-ups to make up for it. I don't know. But we did that. I tried to give blood. I am not allowed to give blood. Since we were stationed in Germany when I was younger. When you go to give blood, if you haven't given blood before, you gotta like answer a questionnaire of stuff to make sure that you're qualified to give blood and you're not any kind of a risk. They ask stuff about your sexual preferences and stuff, sexual activity, you have any kind of certain diseases, if any things that you do may cause you to be at risk of getting certain diseases, taking any certain kind of medications within a certain amount of time, and some of the questions about if you've lived in certain places during certain time periods. And the one that gets me is living in Germany between 1980 and like 1995, which I had to answer yes to. And because of that, I am not allowed to give blood, because during that time period was the whole, if you guys are old enough to remember, the whole like mad cow disease deal. So because there's the potential of possibly having mad cow disease, which pretty sure I would know by this point if I had mad cow disease, probably being dead. But because of that, I was rejected from giving blood. So yeah, but no big deal. So after we did the whole blood thing, we got to go back outside, line up in formation, and march back. We marched back to our meeting room, or gym, whatever you want to call it, and froze again. Then we just did some more quizzing. A lot of the time when we were back in the meeting room, most of it was like just quizzing us on what stuff was in the right start packet, or telling, kind of like giving us stories about either basic or how the military works. On Sunday he gave a briefing, like a little impromptu briefing about like how the finance works and the pay scale and that kind of thing, how much you can expect to get paid for your drill weekends, how much you can expect to get paid during basic training, like monthly, because the guy that was leading our Right Start program, he normally works at the base in the finance department, so he kind of knew that area, so he was able to talk to us about that. After that quiz time, I think we went to, after we got back from that, he decided to inform us that no one was going to be doing PT today, and he kind of just was getting people to trying to get people to donate blood, more people than may have donated if they weren't going to get out of PT, but apparently they were not allowed to make us PT anyway because it was so cold outside. It was freezing. I guess it was below 20 degrees. They're not allowed to make you PT outside, and they weren't having us do anything inside. So there was no PT on Saturday, which was pretty sweet. Not gonna lie, I was planning on like starting to get in shape before before my first drill weekend, but I did not end up doing that. So I was kind of glad that there was no PT on Saturday. But yeah, so nobody PT'd on Saturday. We went to lunch. After lunch, came back, did more quizzing, I think, and went over like movements, or commands, sorry, not movements, movements and commands, and like kind of how to salute, I guess. So like the whole about face, right face, left face, tension, like all that kind of stuff. They're like a group of 4 people, 6 people, something like that, go up front. He was giving commands. Had some of, no, actually I forgot to mention, so there are all the like trainees and stuff are there, and all the people in the Right Start program, like the trainees, and then there are also airmen. I forget what they're called. The people that are between tech school, or they just got done, or they got done basic training, but they haven't left for tech school yet. So they're officially airmen. They graduated basic training, but they're back at their home base, their Right Start base, until they leave for tech school. I think one person was leaving like that next week, another person was leaving in a couple weeks. One guy's not leaving until like June, so he'll be around for a while. But I guess people that haven't, their tech schools didn't line up, or something got funky between here and there, so some kind of a holds up. So anyway, they were there, which was pretty cool, because also throughout the weekend, like, we were able to get stories and stuff from them. At lunch, I sat with one of them at lunch, and she was telling me about basic and the whole thing for her, and the leader would like use them to kind of chaperone different people to different things that they didn't have to do, so, or that things that they had to do, like when I had to go fingerprinting, they sent 2 of them with us, and while we were waiting to do that, like, we got to talk with them and kind of pick their brains a little bit. It kind of sucks for them that they're here and they didn't get to go straight to tech school, but it's kind of nice for me, getting to ask them those kind of questions, like, in person, firsthand, and getting to get those kind of responses. So I made it a point to thank some of them before I left on Sunday. Just saying that to them, and I appreciate it. So yeah. Anyway, so they were there. They were telling us some stories. We went to lunch. Lunch was it was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't disgusting. We didn't have to eat MREs, so that was a plus. And my brother-in-law was in the Army National Guard, and he said when they went for his drill weekend, they had to eat MREs, so we got to eat regular food, so that was cool. It was just in a regular DFAC dining facility, they call the DFAC, so had like pork loin or something like that, and rice or potatoes, and broccoli, cauliflower. They had the main line, and then there's a snack line, which I did not know, but the snack line always has grilled cheese and cheeseburgers. So I would have actually went for that line instead of going in the pork loin line, but you live and you learn. I know for next drill weekend, I will probably be going to the snack line unless it's something that I actually like. Sunday we had lasagna, which was decent. It was okay. But yeah, so we had lunch, and then went back, and I think it was just more quizzing until it was time for me to go do fingerprints. I don't know, I think someone came and spoke. The first sergeant? I don't know, the person that's ahead of... This is why I need to read my Right Start package. I can't remember what, like, the positions and titles and stuff are right now. But the person that is above the person leading our Right Start program, I think it's, yeah. I don't know, yeah. Whatever her name is, her title, position, she came and talked to us. So that was cool. Kind of gave her little testimony spiel and was there to answer any questions. I guess some people had questions about like officer school, officer training, and like how hard it is to switch over from being enlisted to going into officer school instead. And she pretty much said she would recommend just like waiting and doing that because it can be a really long process, and she hasn't really seen anyone do it in less than like 2 or 3 years, something like that. So you could already be enlisted and be working your way up before you could even, be accepted to get into officer school. So you can keep like working on the process, but she didn't recommend like switching over completely and stopping the process of enlisting. But that was not asked by you guys, but just a little something that I remembered from the weekend. I don't really have any plans in officer school since I don't have a degree right now. But yeah, so she came and talked, and we had some more quizzing, and then I went to go get my fingerprinting done, which was kind of annoying because they had sent us over to get our fingerprinting done, and nobody was there to do our fingerprinting. So we had to like track down somebody, and ended up getting one of the security forces guys. Said he was willing to come do it for us, but I guess he never did it there before, so he was kind of trying to figure out how to do it, and it was taking a really long time. But I got mine done. I think there were like 6 or 7 of us or something like that went over to get it done, and the one guy didn't even end up getting his done, which was pretty lame. They stopped doing the fingerprinting because it was like close to 4 o'clock. I guess that's when we're supposed to get out or whatever, but there's only one person done. It would have been like another 10 minutes, so that sucked. He was supposed to try and go get it done on Sunday morning then, but he went and wasn't able to get it done. The machine was broke and whatever. So then we went. He was one of the people that had to go over for the security clearance deal with me, and we had to go to another base for that, and they tried to do it over there, but he had forgot his license because he didn't know he needed it, because we didn't need it for the other day, and couldn't end up getting it done there either. So he never got his fingerprinting done, and that sucks because it kind of holds up our whole process. He was in cybersecurity, which is what I was going to go into originally, but decided to switch since they need a top secret clearance, and my job now, I just need a secret clearance. So they have to wait like at least a minimum of 6 to 9 months until their case is closed and they pass the clearance deal. So, but anyway, did that did the fingerprinting, and then it was time to go. So it was crazy getting out of there. That was like mad traffic. It took like half hour, 45 minutes just to get out off of the base because everyone was trying to bounce at the same time. So, but it was good. It was good at the end of the day. Actually, after we got done with the fingerprinting, we went back to the meeting room. Everyone else was gone. I went and got my stuff. I went to leave, and then the guy in charge of the right to start, he was like, "You're going to have that shaved by tomorrow, right?" I was like, "Yes, sir." Yes, sir. So then Sunday morning I went and shaved it all off. And then like Sunday evening it was growing back again. So now I think I just shaved yesterday or the day before, and you can see it's already growing back, and it was crazy. It's so weird shaving it off because it was like all light and looked weird because that area doesn't get any sunlight, so it was lighter than everywhere else. I didn't like it. I'm like not having my little deal going on down there either. But anyway, Sunday went, did the roll call again, roll call, announcements, then we actually had a briefing over another building. The chaplain gave us a briefing on like dealing with anger and stress, and it's like a whole hour-long PowerPoint and interactive thing. It was alright. So at the end, there's like this whole teaser deal. Like, gave these relaxation exercise thing. Gotta like relax your body and focus on relaxing certain points and breathing. So we did it, and then everyone's all nice, relaxed, and like some people fell asleep and everything. And then after that, we were done. We had to get up. And it was like, oh, now everybody's tired and ready to go to sleep and take a nap. But now we got to go outside into the freezing cold again and start marching. Oh, actually, before we went to the briefing, we had PT. Or, I mean, we didn't have PT. We did the PT test, part of it, except the running, because they didn't want us to go outside again because it's still freezing outside. So we just had to do the 1 minute push-ups, 1 minute sit-ups, and it went okay, I guess, for me. When first was planning on joining the Air National Guard, I'd started working on some push-ups. Didn't start working on sit-ups at all, but push-ups, I was like doing a bunch of push-ups throughout the day and a couple intervals or whatever. So I had gotten up to a decent amount with that, but then I'd stopped just because I got lazy and got out of my routine. So I did okay. I got like 54 push-ups in the minute and then 56 sit-ups. Yeah, it wasn't bad, but not great either. So we did that. Then we did went to the briefing, and then came back to the room. And apparently we were supposed to stay over there for another briefing, but our leader had a meeting to go to, so he wasn't there to tell us that we were supposed to stay, and didn't tell the airmen that were taking us around that we were supposed to stay there. So that was a whole drama deal, but everybody lived. So we got back to the meeting room around 10, and then that's when he did his impromptu finance briefing, and just went over the appointments again, reminded me I had my security clearance appointment over at the Gap at 12, so me and 3 other guys had the early lunch. He got one of the airmen to take us over there, and yeah, so we went over, and well, yeah, so we did that, and then after the quizzing and whatnot, it was basically time for us, and the spiel, the briefing, his briefing, finance briefing. It was time for my group to go to lunch, and then we headed out to go do the security clearance stuff. We got lost on the way there, so that took a while, and we got there, and basically went there to fill out, sign 4 papers, and that was pretty much it. But no big deal. It's cool because he kind of like answered some questions for us, told us kind of what the security clearance process was like, what they're going to do, the difference between the secret and top secret, as far as like what they're going to be delving into and how in depth they're going to go, whatnot. So I'll explain that in another video probably. This one's already long, so I'm not going to go into it now. But like I said earlier, the one of the other guys that went for that with us was the guy that didn't get his fingerprinting done the day before. So when we first got there, they set it up for him to go and try and get his fingerprinting done. So me and the other guy, we signed our papers and we were done. That's when we were talking with the person we were signing the papers with, and he's asking us, what our jobs were and whatnot. So he arranged for us to meet the people that were, heading up our departments, our shops, or whatever, while we were there. So it's getting dark. Let me turn on the light again. So it was cool. I got to go down, or the guy came up for me to meet, and I got to go down to the shop, and there's one other person there from the shop. Everyone else was out on a job, but I just hung out there and talked with them for like 20 minutes, half hour, asking about the job and the training and all that kind of stuff, and they were asking me some questions, and it was just cool to, get more in-depth, more insight on the actual AFC, or is it AFC, AFIC, whatever, the job, the career that I'm going to be doing, and by some people that are in it, so that was cool. Probably make another video about as far as what I found out about client systems, which is what my job is. So we did that, wrapped up there, went back to the other base, went back to the meeting room, and no one was there again. So I got the contact information for our Right Start program leader, and I texted him to find out where everyone else was at so we could go there. He came back and met us at the gym, and actually just told us to stay there because everyone else was going to be back. They were at a briefing about finance from like the actual finance person they're supposed to get a briefing from. So everyone came back there, and then it was basically then we went to another, not a briefing, but like an appointment with the doctor, psychiatrist person, shrink person. But we went there, and I got the order mixed up somehow, but anyway, while we were with her, she was like talking, they were doing some exercise about like whatchamacallit, like finding the good in bad situations. Like you got in groups and had to talk about some kind of a situation that you had to overcome, something bad you had to work through or something like that. And then it was basically exercise on practicing on listening and sharing about different things and finding the positive and even in negative situations. And then we were talking about stress, and did this exercise with writing down something that stresses you in your life and putting it on a stress ball, and then sharing with people around the table. And then they're going to do some exercise, and then I had to bounce to go do something else. So yeah, I don't know what they did after that. But then another time you're doing like a game. It's like basically like a rock paper scissors game. It's called Champion, where you had to like put your one thumb. Oh no, sorry, that's a different game. But the rock paper scissors, basically, you pair it up and you played rock paper scissors, and whoever won, the person that lost would follow around the person that won and kind of cheer them on against whoever else they went up against. So the person that won had to find somebody else to challenge, and whoever won from that, the loser and his group would have to follow the winner around and cheer for him. And it basically kept going until it was down to 2 people, and then it was basically like one whole half of the room cheering for one guy and the other half of the room cheering for the other guy, and it was fun. But anyway, after that, then we went back to the briefing room, and it was kind of like close up time, it was wrap up time. So made some announcements, told about people having to give in the PT uniforms next month. People's ship dates, people that got ship dates. I also had to fill out a booking form, I guess. It's basically saying like your ship date, like you put on your information there, and then when you want to ship, your preference, you can do like ASAP, like as soon as they have something open for you, you'll ship out, which could be within like 3 days or something like that. Or if you're in high school, they got like that, waiting until a certain time. Or you could put in like your special requests I put in I didn't want to leave before March 1st, so that's what I put on the sheet. There's some other kind of sheet we had to fill out. I forget what it was. But, yeah, so I had to do that earlier in the day. But now it's just closed up, wrap-up time, the announcements for next month. Like I said, handing in the PT uniforms. Told us what the new uniform was, which is basically what I told you guys. Black sweatpants, gray sweatshirt. You can wear a white t-shirt underneath, white or gray. And I wore like a gray compression shirt underneath my white t-shirt, underneath my black hoodie, or black sweater, because this is before the announcement about the gray sweater. So yeah, so that was just wrapped up with that, and said bye to the people that were going to be shipping out, and cleaned up. We had to fold up the tables, put the chairs away. Some people, they got like 2 other groups to go clean some other places. I think one group had to go clean Clancy's, and then my group went to go clean the other gym, which was kind of weird. There wasn't a lot to clean up there, and then we like wiped down the machines and stuff. But playoff games were on, so I actually got to see like 10 minutes of the Dallas game, so that was cool because I got to see them losing, so that was even cooler. Boo Dallas, go Eagles, EAGLES, Eagles. Yeah, so we did that and went back to the meeting room. Actually, that's when we went back to Clancy again. We had to go in the formation. In all these places, we have to marching out in the cold. It was freezing. After that, we went back to Clancy. That's when we did the games, the rock, paper, scissors, champion, and whatnot. And then we left. And yeah, I went to go leave, and I forgot to say, I went to go leave, and first of all, I couldn't find my car. It's like amazed me trying to figure out where I parked my car at that place, because I have no bearing as to where anything's at and how to get back to wherever it is I start in the morning, because I don't know the place at all. But it took me like a half hour to find my car. I'm freezing. I'd stopped at the BX, got a soda and some Reese's Pieces, and so my hand's freezing holding the soda. I'm walking around trying to find my car. I went to the same places like 20 times. Finally found my car, got there, went to go leave. I always like check my pockets before I like leave any place, leave my house, leave work, whatever, make sure I got everything that I need. Realized that I didn't have my wallet, or not my wallet, I didn't have my ID. So I'm like, crap, what happened to my ID? So I know when I was doing the sit-ups, and I stood up, my debit card came out of my pocket. So I was like, oh, maybe my license came out of my pocket too, and I didn't see it. And so I was like, I'm going to go back there and check and see if it's there, if I left it on the floor or something. So I got in my car, drove over there. It's a good thing I got there when I did, because the guy that was locking up the building was actually like just turned off the lights and was coming out the door when I was trying to go in. He's like, oh, we're closing up the building now. Did you need something or something like that? I was like, yeah, I think I might have left my license in there, my ID, so I was just going to come in and check and see if it was there. So I was like, all right, let me back in. He actually helped me try and find it. We didn't find it. So he's like, we can try the security office, or the security forces, and maybe somebody turned it in. And yeah, so we went and looked for a phone, found a phone, called over there, and nobody turned it in. So I was like, all right, I don't know. I was like, I'll check at the gate. For this base, there's like a gate that you had to go into to get on base. So it's like, maybe somebody turned it in there. So I went there, nobody turned it in. So I lost my license. It was kind of lame, but it was okay anyway. It was still a good weekend. But that was about it. But yeah, all in all, it's a good weekend. I'm glad we didn't have PT. I got to meet, there's some pretty cool people there. Some kind of lame people, but that's whatever. There were more good people than lame. It was a good time, just cold. But I did learn a lot of stuff, so that was cool. Hopefully I don't have to be there as long as some of the other people. Some people have been there for like a year. One guy was pretty helpful to me. He's been there for a year since his 12th drill. So, but he's actually leaving in a couple weeks, so that's cool. I'm glad to hear for him that he finally gets to go, and wish him the best. And yeah, so the next thing for me, I should be hearing back within a couple weeks that my clearance file is opened, and then I'll be cleared to have a ship date. And we'll see when that is. I'll give you guys an update. I'll probably be making a couple videos about some of the other stuff that I learned this weekend on a separate one, since this is so long. But yeah, I will talk to you guys in the next video. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Let me know where you guys are in the process, what's going on with you, and I look forward to talking to you. That you guys know, still go to my channel. There is the playlist for the ASVAB math help. A lot of people have been looking at the videos and finding them helpful, so if you are still in the process, you haven't taken your ASVAB yet, you struggle with math, check that out. I did it for you guys, and not to waste my time, so check it out. Just go to my channel, look for ASVAB practice math tests or something like that, and yeah, check them out. Hopefully they help you, and also email me, let me know if there's any kind of request